Martell.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robinson.
Come on.
It was he and Peele nights in Louisiana as, y'all see the handshake, right? As Tennessee took on LSU on senior night. We saw the likes of Zakiya Johnson getting going early. She had 14 points in yesterday's game. We did see a back and forth battle, especially in the first half between Tennessee and LSU, but it opened up for LSU in that second half. Michaela Blakes was doing her thing. We saw Michaela Williams doing her thing, 20 points for her as LSU takes down Tennessee. Next up, we have Big Ten play as Illinois came into Iowa trying to get the dub, and Ava Hayden absolutely was doing her thing for Iowa. However, Illinois and their three-point shot specifically, look at this three from Barry Wallace to make it a one-point game with 11 seconds left to go, but it was this foul, this offensive foul that really did cost Illinois the game. Iowa survived 82-78. We're going to talk about Ole Miss because, yeah, they lost 3 straight games. And we're going to talk about the likes of Vandy, who took down Alabama, and Michaela Blakes is continuing to show that she is the best player in women's college basketball. She can do everything. She can pass the ball. She can shoot the ball. She can get to the rim. She has a crazy leg up package, and also she can knock down those threes. Vandy does it again. Shay Ralph does it again. And once again, Vandy is on everybody's mind. That and a whole lot more on today's episode of QITM in the Morning.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Friday. We only have a couple of moments, games left in the regular season for women's college basketball, y'all. It's almost over. It is almost over. We are about to hit Champions Week, which is next week. We got a couple of games left, basically one game for most teams left. And yesterday, we was treated to another fantastic game, or fantastic day of women's basketball. Here's the thing, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch any of the games live, but I did watch them after the fact, and I want to talk about them because, yeah. We saw some really good stuff. First up, let's talk about LSU versus Tennessee because this was a big game. This was a big game for both LSU and Tennessee. For LSU, they wanted to make sure they secured the double bye. Like, that was the critical thing in yesterday's game. Get the critical bye. And for Tennessee, it was, hey, can you get back to winning basketball? Can you win this game? Here's the thing. Before coming into this game, Tennessee was on a 4-game losing streak, right? They lost to Texas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. And yes, they were playing the better LSU, but it was a question mark of, okay, can they compete? Can they have a chance to win and kind of get back to where they want to be in terms of their overall record? It meant a lot, right? This was a game where we saw Jersey Wolfenbarger make her return back to LSU. Remember, she played for LSU last year and then transferred over to Tennessee. It was just a question mark of like, okay, what's going to happen? And then Kim Mulkey said it at halftime. Like, there's a bunch of one-on-one basketball that she wasn't too happy with. And it kind of got a little bit better for LSU in the second half. It was basically a tap ball game at halftime. Pretty neck and neck with the stats. But overall in the fourth quarter, or actually the third quarter specifically, we saw LSU kind of get back to their winning basketball ways. And that's by getting everybody involved. You all saw in one of the clips, it was an awesome transition bucket. It was Jada Richard had the basketball. She gave it to pass it up to Michaela Blakes. Michaela got it to Zakiya, and Zakai made the layup. And like that was kind of like the winning basketball plays that we kind of saw in from that third quarter on. It was a close game, but third quarter floodgates opened really for LSU. And they were able to ultimately get the job done on senior night. And the best thing about it, I forgot to include it in the highlight reel, but Izzy Besselman did get on the court. She did get a couple of seconds. What was it, like 30 seconds or something like that? She did get some time on the court. Remember, guys, Flauzia Johnson is not the only senior on the team. Izzy Besselman is another senior. She has had a heart condition, so she is unable to play, but she is still with the team. And it was cool to see her just get a couple of seconds out there in this game. All right. And then also, you all probably saw this. There were two moments in this game that just made me laugh. Well, one moment that happened in the game, the other moment that happened before the game. Kim Mulkey's just funny. Kim Mulkey, I don't think she intends to be funny, or maybe she does. She plays it off like she doesn't intend to be funny at all, but she's hilarious. The Key and Peele moment before the game, when Kim Mulkey gave a regular handshake to everybody else, and then one guy, she's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" And gives like a real familiar embrace to. And I was like, when I saw that, immediately I thought of Key and Peele. Do y'all remember the Key and Peele moment where like it's like the presidential thing where he's like giving handshakes, and then like all the people black gives like a real embrace to, and then everybody else is like regular handshake. It felt like that moment. Now I don't know if Kim Mulkey even watches Key and Peele. I have no idea. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was absolute funny. That she did that. And then she was doing all of that with tiger feathers. She had the tiger shirt on with the feathers coming out of her shoulders, right? And then she gave the fake laugh to Holly Rowe. Ha ha. That was funny. I thought that was kind of funny. I did. I was like, I forgot what comment Holly made. She made something about, did she say like something like, I can't take you seriously with those feathers or something like that? Something like that. It was like a side joke that Holly was making after she asked her questions. And then then Kim Mulkey gave the fakest laugh ever. I thought it was funny. I thought it was so funny. Bolo says, Quitty, you are too funny. I didn't think about this kid. Literally, that's the first thing that came to my mind. The first thing that came to my mind. The first thing. That's why I had to. That's why y'all saw the intro of the show, right?
Hey Martell.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robinson.
Come on.
It was Key and Peele nights in Louisiana as, y'all see the handshake, right? As Tennessee took on LSU. Like everybody else got the regular handshake, but that guy got the real handshake. It was funny. Anyway, shout out to Kim Mulkey, shout out to LSU. For getting the job done against Tennessee and really getting their act together in the second half. We did see Michaela Williams score a game-high 20 points. She passed 1,500 points for LSU so far. And I just got to say, Jada Civil continues to impress me for Tennessee. She continues to impress me. That's all I got to say. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on over to Iowa versus Illinois. And guys. This was a game that I was like, Iowa's going to win. Yeah, it's going to be competitive, but it's not going to be that big of a game. But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect to see Illinois make the types of threes that they made yesterday. They made 11 threes, guys. 11. That was the sole reason why they were competitive down to the stretch. And actually, I really did think Illinois was going to win. With that fantastic three from Barry Wallace, who ultimately finished the game with 21 points. But she hit a big-time three with seconds left to go to narrow the gap. And unfortunately for Illinois, on the following play, where they had a chance to either tie or go for the lead, offensive foul. Moving screen. And I was like, no. I wanted that upset really, really bad. And the reason why is because upsets are fun. Okay? And we know how good of a team Iowa has been all year. We also know that Illinois is a good team. Like, Illinois is a good team. They compete night in and night out. And I thought this was going to be that moment. That moment where we see an epic Big Ten upset. But ultimately, the offensive foul happens, and time is not on Illinois' side, and they end up getting the L. But, dog, what a game. Big-time threes, left and right, back-to-back threes, just momentum-breaking threes. And, guys, this game was at Iowa. And truly, the offensive foul cost Illinois the game, but also the crowd was crazy. They were in it throughout. And sometimes when you're having a game against a team that is just on a big one, right? They're just looking really, really good. Sometimes what you need is fan support. You need the crowd to be cheering. You need them to be going crazy. And yesterday, as always, 15,000 people show up to cheer on the Hawkeyes. And that noise, that crowd support, that fandom, in my opinion, really did help to elevate Iowa in a game that it looked like they were about to get got. I tell you, home court advantage is a real thing. It is a real thing. And they were out in full support for Iowa yesterday. But real quick, can we just talk about someone who definitely is a all Big Ten player, Ava Hayden. Y'all, Ava Hayden and Hannah Stokey overall totally dominated, right? They did their thing. Their big one, they did. They combined for what? 46 points. They combined for 46 points of Iowa's 82. Ava Hayden, 28 points. All Iowa really has to do is just get a ball to Ava or Hannah, and they're gonna make some stuff happen. They're gonna be very effective and efficient, and that's the reason. That's the reason Illinois ended up getting that L, because they just couldn't stop Ava. Just couldn't stop her. And there were some key moments where Ava was strategically taken out the game, and it worked out. It worked out for Iowa's benefit. So, dog, it's always a good time. It's always a good time watching a Iowa home game, because that crowd is in it, and it elevates the players to go even harder. And so, that's something to note. All right. Eric says Iowa crowd is always a vibe. Facts. 100%. 100%. Christine says Iowa crowd was real loud, made it fun to watch too. Yeah. And also the guy on the broadcast, I don't remember his name. Fantastic. Like his level of excitement was fire. Yeah. Shout out to the guy who was on the broadcast yesterday for Illinois versus Iowa. Really, really good job as play-by-play, for sure. Biomicrobiology says, Quita's dream is a world where everyone is 50%. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I feel like if everybody was 50%, it wouldn't be as fun. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We have to see if that happens. We will have to see if that happens. That'd be hilarious though. I could totally see how it gives you that impression, because I'm always like, I was waiting for them to get got. I was hoping that they got, but they didn't get got. And so, Christine says the Iowa bigs hate dribbling. They go right up with it. No wasted movement. Yeah, you all remember, oh my goodness. She played with Caitlin, big girl. I cannot believe I am blanking on her name. She barely dribbled. And she would go whole games really without dribbling at all. She would just get the ball, turn, layup. Oh my goodness. Sonano. Right? Sonano. Yeah. Yeah. Monica Sonano. There we go. Monica Sonano was one of those bigs that she barely dribbled. Okay? Barely dribbled. And was super effective. Super. That's all I gotta say. That's all I got to say. Yeah, Eric's 9 of 9 from the three in the second half. Maybe they're 9 of 10. Anyway, they were going after it in that second half. Just throwing it up there, and it was going in. It was going in, man. Biomicrobiology says, I appreciate that you don't have favorites, Quita. I love a good upset, but only for teams I don't like. Much more biased. I want upsets for everybody in college basketball. Everybody can get it. Pharaoh says CLA is like no other. Facts. Fans like no other. Yeah. The fan experience at the CLA, which is where South Carolina plays, insane. I would say the best. I mean, I haven't traveled to all the teams, which I'll do, hopefully, soon. But watching all the games on TV, like, CLA is the littest crowd ever. And actually going to a game, lit. Straight up lit. All right. Cash A says, Illinois needed to win. We are trying to bring them back. Hey, they got a good coach. They're on their way. They're on their way. That's for sure. All right. Guys, let's talk about Ole Miss. Because I was expecting Ole Miss to get themselves and to get themselves together, because they got someplace to go. They're trying to go to the SEC. Well, they're going to the SEC tournament, but like they're trying to go high in the NCAA tournament as a seed. They wanted to host. Like that was a dream. But with this 3-game skid, they lost to LSU. Not a bad loss at all. They lost to South Carolina. The way they lost was bad. And yesterday, they lost to Florida. And I'm just like, man. Like, yes, Liv McGill. Shout out to Liv McGill. Liv McGill is amazing. Flat out. She is amazing for Florida. She was doing her thing yesterday, 28 points. 8 assists, 6 rebounds. She was doing her thing yesterday. Liv McGill's great. Layla Reynolds, she could have some really good games. But Ole Miss had no business losing to Florida. In my opinion. No business. They had a couple days break, or not really. They had a couple days in between their last game. Remember, they've been on this crazy tear of games because of some of the weather issues that hit Mississippi. This game was in neutral territory in Alabama. And it's just like, dog, what are y'all doing? Yes, here's the thing. If y'all watch Ole Miss, y'all know that they're missing a big piece. They're missing a major piece on their roster. A major piece is out. That's Sierra Tinu. Sierra Tinu is fantastic. Flat out, a fantastic player for this Ole Miss team, and she is a player that gets after it both defensively, but also can be a good spark offensively for this team. So yes, they're losing about 10 points per game because Sierra Tinu is out, right? But even with that being said, you still need to win. I get it. Sarah's fantastic. She is. Big time player for this program. However, come on now. Come on. This loss should not have happened. You got Latasha Lattimore, you got Cody McMahon, you got Christina Waller. That's good enough to get the dub over Florida, in my opinion. I just don't like it. And you had Tiana Thompson, who was big off the bench for Ole Miss. And when it came down to it, Florida just wanted it more. They were ready. And, injuries happen. Injuries happen throughout the game, right? They happen. That's a thing. But at the end of the day, Ole Miss is starting to flounder at a time where they looked like a solid 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. They looked like a solid 4 seed. But then you play a game like today. I know I'm a big fan of Coach Yo. I talk about her a lot. I think she's a great coach. But you talk a lot about, hey, Ole Miss needs more respect and yada, yada, yada. But you drop a game to Florida. Like you just can't do that. You just can't. You can't. And so it is what it is. It is what it is. Ole Miss is in very shaky territory. Very, very shaky territory. Again, the loss to LSU wasn't bad at all. They got killed against South Carolina. That was bad. I mean, everyone knew they were going to lose, but the way they lost was bad. And here's the thing. They play on the first, guys, they play Texas A&M. Now, I tell you this. If Ole Miss lose to Texas A&M, it's over. It's over. It is over. Okay? That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. But, hey, Texas A&M is on a winning streak. This team has won 4 games in a row. They beat Auburn. They beat Tennessee. They beat Arkansas. They beat Mississippi. So, hey. Texas A&M, can you take down Ole Miss? Can you do it? Can you do it? I'm just saying. Anyway. Let's talk about Vandy. And let's talk specifically about Michaela Blakes. Because in my opinion, Michaela Blakes, I talked about her being in the conversation for player of the year. She is the player of the year. Like, don't come at me with, oh, but what about this player? Nah. It's Michaela Blakes. It's Michaela Blakes. She's the second NCAA player this century with 5 straight 30-point games against ranked teams. Michaela Blakes is in her bag. She is a bona fide scorer who can impact her team in a ton of ways. She could pass the ball. She could shoot. This girl can get to the rim with ease. Right? She's physical. She can knock down the three. She can do a little bit of everything on the court. And in a lot of ways, she has reinvigorated Vanderbilt. And they're just looking great, man. 35 points yesterday for Michaela Blakes, 6 threes. She's just on one, man. Like, it just is what it is. She's a fantastic player. And I don't know who's better than her at all. And she's a sophomore. Like, it's just crazy. Averaging around 26 points per game this season, shooting 46%. And she plays in the SEC where she's playing tough teams night in and night out. She's balling. Straight up balling. And yeah, she's extremely humble with it. Michaela Blakes is doing stuff that we haven't seen in the SEC recently. It's insane. It is insane. Laney says, didn't realize how good she was until college conference play started. Had to make sure her game was legit. I mean, hey, Michaela Blakes was doing this last year, right? She was doing this last year. And so, yeah. But I get you, though. I get you. Quinta says better than Juju. I mean, Juju's not playing. So, like, I mean, that's the thing. Juju's not playing right now. Michaela Blakes is the best player in women's college basketball. Is having the best season in women's college basketball this year. She's having the best season. Is she better than Juju? Last year, I didn't think she was better than Juju. Again, here's the thing. If we actually compare her to Juju, it's like it's comparing someone who is in her second. I could compare Michaela this year to Juju last year. I mean, I think the battles that Michaela has had in the SEC is tougher than the battles that USC had last year. And so, yeah, her impact is huge. Huge. Better than Juju? I don't know. We'll see when Juju gets back next year. We'll see. But Michaela Blakes is amazing. Amazing. Molly says Blakes lives at I mean, she does get fouled. Hey, she does get fouled. That girl does get fouled, and she makes her free throws, man. She makes her freaking free throws. This is someone who on a given day is how many free throws is she averaging? She averages a lot of free throws. Like she takes a lot of free throws every game. She is averaging this season, Michaela Blakes is averaging 7 free throws per game. 7. All right? So, we'll see, man. We will see. Yeah, they have a very bright future. Quinta says, thanks for humoring me. I'm just saying. And honestly, it is hard to compare this year to last year. mainly because like is recency bias. Like, maybe if I go back and actually rewatch all the USC games from last year, then maybe I'll be like, oh, actually USC had a tougher schedule or whatever. Recency bias is telling me that Vandy is definitely the tougher schedule than USC had last year. Let's see. Donna says, I would like to see a one-on-one contest for college. I mean, if it's an NIL thing, after the season's over, I think that could be kind of fun. Not half. A lot of her points are from the free throw line. Not half, though. Eric says, well, Sarah Strong has a strong case. I see what you did there. Anyone else? Who else has a strong case for kind of winning it all? South Carolina. Yesterday, of course, won again. Medina is just looking absolutely fantastic. And they were able to celebrate their regular season championship for the SEC. And yeah, I mean, South Carolina's great, man. Like, it's just, they're just an amazing team. Like, they really are. And truly, I thought this was going to be kind of an off type of year for South Carolina. And even on an off year, you once again, for the fifth straight time, isn't it five straight? It's at least 4 straight. I believe it's 5 straight SEC championships. Or regular season titles, I should say. Regular season titles for South Carolina. It's insane. And you do it by various ways, right? You bring in a player like Medina. You bring in a player like Tanaya. Like, Dawn Staley, she definitely is in the running for Coach of the Year because she just always finds a way to just tweak the way her team plays. And every year it's someone else stepping up. It's midway through the season. It's players getting better and better and better and better. Like, Medina is like the best she's been right now. She's peaking. Joyce Edwards, is on fire, doing her thing. So you're led by the big women. And then you got the guards, right? Tessa didn't play yesterday. But you got Tanaya, you got Raven, like you got Maddie. Like, this team is just really good. Like, it's between, in my opinion, Shay Ralph and Dawn. Like, Dawn is she's just a great coach, man. She just is. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much, Lainey, for the super chat. Says, anybody want 2 free tickets to see SJU? SJU. I don't know what that stands for. St. Joe's versus UConn women's basketball on Saturday at Madison Square Garden. That's so cool, man. Okay, Laney put it out there. Anybody is able to go? I wish I was able to go. Oh my goodness, going to see UConn play at Madison Square Garden. That'd be fun. That would be fun. All right. Brown says, do you give UConn coach this praise? Yeah, when it's warranted. Here's the thing. Gino doesn't control this, but this is reality. The Big East sucks. And so I talk about UConn more in non-conference play than conference play. And during non-con, I don't talk about South Carolina very much until conference play starts because the SEC is crazy. So no, I'm not talking right now. Am I talking about UConn this way and talking about how great Gino is? Gino is a fantastic coach. We all know that. In the NCAA tournament, I'm be back to talk about UConn because UConn's gonna be playing tougher talent. To be honest with you, it is kind of boring to watch all the UConn games and see them just beat up on teams in the Big East because the Big East is boring. It just is. It just is. The level of competition is not there between UConn and everybody else. And so I don't talk about them as much. There's not much to say. Like, there's just not. It's just not. But the SEC is a gauntlet. It's crazy. And I've seen over this year, Dawn just make various tweaks and like just this team is like rolling. And they're way better than I thought they were going to be. Way better. Now you could say, Quita, that's because you had too low of expectations. Sure. But, dog. You know? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right? That's all I got to say. Yeah, I ain't got no issue with UConn. UConn's great. But also, UConn don't really play nobody. They play people in the non-conference. But yeah, other than that, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's see what you all have to say. DJ says that foul on Illinois didn't cost them the game. It was a 3-point Iowa lead. Here's the thing, it did cost them the game, though. I think it did. I think it did cost them. Because here's the thing, it was a 3-point game. 100%, it was a 3-point game, right? It was 81-78, right? Iowa had the lead. Illinois had the basketball, and they had 8 seconds or something like that? They had the basketball. They were down by 3. You saw how hot of a 3-point shooting team they were, especially in that second half. The play that they were trying to run was definitely a setup for another 3. That, in my opinion, was going to tie it. So yes, in my opinion, it did cost them the game. Now everybody has their different opinions, but that's my opinion based on how flat out amazing Illinois was up until that point. And so, in my opinion, if Destiny Jackson does not do that moving screen, a 3 is happening. The game is tied. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. That is my thoughts there. Sporty Blue says, "Why is UConn still number 1 when their strength of schedule is terrible?" I mean, here's the thing: they don't control conference, but they did have a competitive non-conference schedule. They did, and they won all those games. Also, they are their reigning champs, and also, really, they're the most talented team in college basketball. They are. They are. Right? They are, in my opinion. That is my opinion for sure. All right. Let's see if y'all have anything else to say. Ram says, Quita, South Carolina is 2-0 when you are there in person, so I'm gonna need you to be at all their games in March and April. Am I South Carolina's good luck charm? Little old me, am I the good luck charm? Who knows? Maybe. A quick update for y'all. I did have I was all set to go to the Big Ten tournament, but they didn't approve my credentials, and so I'm not going no more because I'm not gonna go and basically try to cover SEC, ACC, Big Ten, all from a hotel room. So I'm going to just stay here and do it. I have a flight. I have a hotel already booked for Phoenix. Depending on if I can get credentials for that, I may or may not go. I was planning on going. I would like to go. However, the coverage that I need to do and the videos I need to make around that is not conducive at all unless I actually get credentials. And so I'm all set to go. I hope I can go. But if I don't get credentials, I'm not going. So we'll see. South Carolina will have to win without me. All right. Anyway, also yesterday we saw the Longhorns easily dominate. At one point it got to a very embarrassing score, Texas versus Georgia, but in the end it ended up being a respectable game. 79 Texas, Georgia 50. Pretty epic loss on that front. UConn dominates Georgetown. No surprise there. We see Oklahoma take down Arkansas. We see Louisville knock down Georgia Tech. Duke beats Florida State. Kentucky ends up surviving Auburn. And we see North Carolina take down Virginia. There's a bunch of other games that happen as well. As well as Notre Dame basically having most of the team as seniors for senior night. I saw a graphic of their senior night photo, and I was like, man, that's basically the whole team. His seniors. But anyway, real quick, there is a riff going on between the players, WNBA players. There was an article that came out yesterday talking about an ongoing discussion that players are having and amongst themselves, and it does seem like not everybody's on board with everything that the Players Association is saying, and it seems like there is some significant fatigue around some players just wanting this to be over with and wanting a deal to just get done. So I'm just saying that to say we actually might see a deal come through, because if here's the thing: a house divided cannot stand, and the Players Association is really trying to hold a firm line. However, if not all the players are on board with that, we might see the players end up making a concession and just saying, hey, okay, WNBA, let's agree. Let's agree, and let's call it a day. And if that happens, we will have a season start on time. Green Thumb says I don't trust that report from me. I mean, she's probably the best women's basketball reporter there is. Like, she gets a whole bunch of scoops, and a lot of people tell her stuff. So I trust it unless we find out otherwise that it's not true. I think it is true. I trust the reporting. So, I mean, we'll see. If it's not true, then somebody else will put a report out, and we'll find out what the truth is. So, I think it's true. But we'll see. All right, UConn. UConn, there is no limit. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more content all about women's basketball. Y'all, since the season is basically over, there's a lot of ideas I have. I just got to figure out if I can make it all work time-wise to make all the content I want happen. All right. Road 2 says, who are those players? We don't know. We don't know. I think some players just want to know. They just want to be like, hey, where am I going in May? Who am I playing for? Like what's happening? Can we just have a free agency? And again, a house divided can't stand. Like, if the players are really going to be able to hold firm, all the players got to be all in. You know, and if a strike is going to happen, all players need to be all in. Yeah, they gave the authorization, but at the same time, some players allegedly have changed their mind. And so, yeah. Anyway, have a great weekend. Lots of great hoops happening this weekend, specifically on Sunday, because it's always Sunday. It is always Sunday fun day. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Make sure you hit that like button. All right? Hit that like button for me. Please, and thank you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.